Hey guys, and welcome back to What If Soul. I'm your host, Broken Soul. Now before we get started with the video, I'd really like to ask you guys to watch all the way to the end, because there's something important I need to say to you guys. Now, let's recap with what if Ash could start over. But before we get started, please hit that like button and subscribe. It means a lot to me, guys. Alright, now for the recap. When we last left off, Ash received the mysterious egg from the Viridian City Gym. He met up with and battled his old friend Samurai from Viridian Forest. And his best friend Brock explained to Ash that if he doesn't take this more seriously, each of the gym leaders are going to tear him apart and he will lose his chance to compete in the Indigo League. These are the big leagues now. Leaving Ash a little shooken up, and after a motivational speech from Pikachu and his other Pokemon, reassuring that they're going to be with him the entire time, Ash, after calling over some friends to help him out, challenges the Pewter City Gym. We now move on to the Pewter City Gym. Brock, standing defiantly on his side of the field, asks Ash, "Hey Ash, before we get started, can I ask you a quick favor?" "Sure, Brock, what is it?" "That egg you have, would you mind bringing it out and just leaving it next to you?" "Brock, wouldn't that be dangerous for the egg?" "Under normal circumstances, yes, but based off everything you told me, it sounds like this egg might react to the battle. It might even react to your emotions as the battle goes on." "Alright, Brock, I'll trust you." Ash then takes out the egg from his backpack and puts it right next to him on the trainer's box of the field. That's when Brock's younger brother Forrest takes his position at the referee's box, saying, "This will be a full 6-on-6 Pokemon battle between challenger Ash Ketchum of Pallet Town and gym leader Brock of the Pewter City Gym. The battle will conclude when all 6 of either Pokemon are unable to battle. In addition, only the challenger may switch out Pokemon." That's when Ash thinks to himself, okay, so I'm going against Brock. He's no pushover, so I need to be careful with my strategies. Brock at the same time thinking to himself, come on Ash, show me you've taken this seriously. We may be best friends, but I am not going to hold back. Not in this battle. Forrest then raises both hands and shouts, "Begin!" Brock, making the first move, calls out his first Pokemon. "Fortress, go!" The Bug and Steel type Pokemon takes the field, ready for battle. Ash then going, "Fortress, huh? Haven't seen him in a long time." "Yeah, he and I have been working together for quite some time. I may be studying, but that doesn't mean I'm in a slouch. I still have my duties here as a gym leader after all." Smirking, Ash then says, "Alright then, well let me show you how serious I am. Let's go Gible!" Gible then takes the field, ready to go and looking tough as ever. Wow, Gible, haven't seen him since Sinnoh. He followed me from Professor Oak's lab. I guess he really wanted trouble again with me. Well, that makes enough sense. Gible does love to battle, and you are pretty close with him. Yeah, I think he just misses biting my head. Alright then, I'll make the first move. Fortress, Rapid Spin! Fortress, spinning like a top, makes his way over to Gible, hoping to do some massive damage right from the beginning. But Ash isn't going to let that happen. Now, Gible, use Dig! Gible then digs deep into the ground, waiting for his trainer's command. Fortress, just barely missing the Rapid Spin, stops right where it's at. That's when Ash says, "Now, do it!" Gible then rushing out of the ground, hits Fortress right from behind, doing massive damage to the Bug and Steel type. Brock then going, "Now, Fortress, Rock Tomb!" Rocks then begin to spill out of the ground, encasing Gible, trapping it. That's when Brock makes the combination move. Now, Iron Defense, raising his armor substantially. Now, one more time, Rapid Spin, leaping over Gible. Fortress then spins rapidly down, hitting its mark, doing even harder damage than what it would have done before, knocking Gible back and down. Gible stands up, already breathing heavily. That Rapid Spin does some massive damage. Ash then thinks to himself, man, Brock has gotten really good. I don't ever remember Fortress being this strong. Okay, I think I know what I have to do. Now, Gible, use Dragon Pulse. A sphere of blue draconic energy fires out of Gible's mouth, hitting right for Fortress. That's when Brock goes, "No you don't, Ash. Now!" Fortress, Rapid Spin! Get out of there! Spinning as quick as it can, Fortress use the Rapid Spin to dodge out of the way. Now, head right for Gible! Moving as quick as it can, Fortress makes a beeline right for Gible. That's when Ash goes, "No you don't, Brock. Gible, use Bite and catch it!" Gible, opening his mouth as wide as it can, snaps onto Fortress's shell, grabbing onto it, stopping it right in its tracks. Brock going, "What the? When did Gible get this strong?" Now, Gible at point blank range, Dragon Pulse! Gible at point blank firing another Dragon Pulse at Fortress while it's being held in its mouth, knocking Fortress back into one of the boulders that align the battlefield. Now Fortress is barely getting up slowly, heavily breathing. Brock going, "Alright Ash, there's that old unpredictable battle style I miss so much. Looks like this is going to be the it for the first battle." "Oh yeah, if that's the case." Fortress, use Rapid Spin, get in close! Fortress, spinning again, moves as close as it can to Gible, hoping to end the battle quick before Ash can. Ash then goes, "Oh no you don't. Gible, we need some defense. Draco Meteor!" Gible then looking up, blasts the Draco Meteor into the sky. The Dragon Meteors rain down all over the battlefield. Forge is doing his best to dodge it, getting closer and closer until he's finally inches away from Gible. That's when Brock calls his final move. Now, Fortress! Explosion! Fortress then glows with explosive energy, detonating itself point blank right in Gible's face, leaving behind a gigantic dust cloud, nearly blinding both Ash and Brock. When the dust finally settles, looking down, they see Fortress and Gible both knocked out. It's a double KO. Returning both their Pokemon, Ash compliments Brock. Wow, Brock, Fortress has gotten super strong. Thanks, Ash. So has Gible. I honestly didn't think he'd push us this far. That's when Forrest screams out, "Please bring out your next Pokemon." Alright then, let's go Sudowoodo. The Mimic Tree Pokemon takes the field, actually looking happy to see Ash. That's when Ash says, "Sudowoodo, huh? Well, since we're doing callbacks, here's one. Let's go Bayleef." The Grass Star takes the field, eyeing down his opponent, looking more serious than it's ever been. Bayleef, huh, Ash? Alright then. Looks like you have the advantage on this one. Don't count me and Sudowoodo out yet. Wouldn't dream of it. Begin! Now Bayleef, use Razor Leaf. Sudowoodo, use Mimic to counter it. Both Bayleef and Sudowoodo launch out Razor Leaves, canceling out each other, showing that Bayleef and Sudowoodo are in top physical condition. Now, Bayleef, use Vine Whip. Sudowoodo, counter! The Vine Whips shoot out of Bayleef at rapid speed, but Sudowoodo counters him just in time, knocking them back, hitting Bayleef back at twice the damage, stunning it for a second. Ash thinks to himself, we gotta get close, but with Mimic and counter, Brock's defense is pretty good. Alright then. Bayleef, use Razor Leaf and run straight in. Bayleef, then running at top speed, launches Razor Leaf after Razor Leaf. Brock calling for a counter to negate the Razor Leaf. Sudowoodo blocks Ellie attacks, launching them back at Bayleef. Now Bayleef, use Vine Whip to dodge. Bayleef, launching its Vine Whips off to the side, hitting the nearest boulder, uses the power to knock itself off to the side, dodging the Razor Leaf. Moving in closer and closer. Now Bayleef, Body Slam. Bayleef, hitting its target, knocking back Sudowoodo several feet. Brock asking, Sudowoodo, are you okay? Sudowoodo gets up, but it assures Brock he's doing just fine. Perfect. Now, Sudowoodo, Sandstorm! Sudowoodo then kicks up a sandstorm that engulfs the entirety of the arena, doing massive damage to Bayleef, yet leaving Sudowoodo completely unharmed. Ash thinking to himself, a sandstorm? Great. Not only am I against Brock, now I'm against the clock. What am I gonna do? That's when Ash remembers. Oh wait! Flashback. Ash and his Pokemon are all training when he notices Bayleef is actually starting to glow a bit. He thinks to himself, wait, how can it be glowing? Is it evolving? But it's not the same. He takes out his Pokedex and he sees, wait a minute. You're using Bayleef, use Vine Whip, just hold on to Sudowoodo. Brock exclaiming, what? Bayleef launches out vines that wrap around Sudowoodo, holding it tightly in place. Now, Solar Beam! Bayleef charging up solar energy while holding onto Sudowoodo. Brock thinking to himself, he's gonna end this all in one shot? Alright then, I gotta do the same. Sudowoodo, use Stone Edge! Sudowoodo, though it can't use its arms, uses its feet and launches up several massive pillars of stone right in between it and Bayleef, giving itself a much needed defense. Now, Sudowoodo, Stone Edge one more time! Sudowoodo then, again using his feet, launches those same pillars of rock right at Bayleef, hoping to end this before it begins. Bayleef taking the Stone Edge one after the other. It gets hit with massive damage, but it's still charging up the attack. When it's fully ready, Ash then goes, now fire the Solar Beam! Bayleef launching the Solar Beam directly at Sudowoodo, hitting some of the stones, weakening the beam a little bit, but hitting his target directly on point. Sudowoodo is knocked back. When the dust clears, Brock looks over and sees Sudowoodo has been knocked out. Forrest making the call. Sudowoodo is unable to battle. Bayleef is the winner. Recalling his tree look-alike, Brock then tells Ash, Ash, that was an amazing battle. You've really learned how to sync with your Pokemon pretty well. Oh yeah, Brock. Me and Bayleef are near in perfect sync. Ash thinking to himself, yeah, we did pretty good, but Bayleef took way too much damage. Or do I switch her out for somebody else? Bayleef, can you keep going? That's when Bayleef turns to Ash, nodding her head, saying, I'm gonna keep going until I'm knocked out. Ash then going, alright then. That's when they hear the words. Now, Croagunk! The poisonous frog Pokemon takes the field, looking nonchalantly as always. Ash thinking to himself, okay, he brought out a poison and fighting type. This is gonna be difficult. Bayleef's a grass type. We need to keep our distance and do what we can to make sure that Croagunk's poison type moves can't hit. So we gotta be fast, we gotta be smart. Alright then. Now, Croagunk, use Poison Sting. Poisonous needles leave Croagunk's mouth, heading straight for Bayleef. Ash going, wait, what? Ash, after Bayleef launched that last Solar Beam, it's tired, slowing down. That's when the Poison Sting hits Bayleef, doing massive damage and poisoning the grass starter. Ash going, Bayleef, no! But Bayleef gets back up. Despite the poison damage, Bayleef is still ready to go. Ash going, alright Bayleef, we'll make this quick then. Now, move in close and use Body Slam. Bayleef running at full speed heads right for Croagunk, but without giving it a chance, Brock then shouts out, now, Croagunk, use Brick Break! As it slams down on Bayleef's head, stopping it right in its tracks, doing massive damage. Now, follow up with Poison Jab! Croagunk's other arm then glows up with toxic energy as it jabs into Bayleef, knocking it back and knocking it out. Bayleef is unable to battle. The victory goes to Croagunk. Ash, in total shock, thinks to himself, Bayleef didn't even do anything to Croagunk. How much stronger has Brock gotten? Bayleef, return. Ash, are you ready to give up? Brock says, mockingly to his good friend. Ash then smiles and says, no way, Brock, we're just getting started. Let's go, Heracross! Ash's bug and fighting type Pokemon takes the field, staring down Croagunk intensely. I get it, you're not pulling any punches, are you, Ash? No way, Brock. You told me to go all out? I'm going all out. Then let's begin. Croagunk, use Aerial Ace. Croagunk, running at top speed, gets in close to Heracross. That's when Ash goes, Heracross, use your horn and stop it. Flinging his entire body down, Heracross just barely stops the Brick Break, holding it in place. Now, use Body Slam. Heracross, using all of his strength in its legs, lunges forward, body slamming right into Croagunk, knocking it back. Croagunk, screaming out in pain, lands back but stands back up. That barely did a thing. Croagunk, are you okay? Croagunk just retakes his fighting stance. Brock then going, alright then. Now, use Brick Break. Croagunk, lunging forward at Heracross, hits it right in its gut, blowing back the bug Pokemon, hitting a boulder. That's when Ash goes, Heracross, no! Quick, get up and use Mega Horn. Heracross's horn glows with bright energy. Lunging forward, hitting Croagunk dead center. Neither one of these Pokemon are willing to back down for their trainers. Croagunk, no! Get back up and use Aerial Ace. Croagunk gets back up, ready for more. Lunging forward, getting ready to do another super effective attack on Heracross. Ash then screaming, alright Heracross, let's show Brock our brand new move. Now, use Close Combat. Brock going, what? As Heracross lunged forward, using all 4 of its limbs plus its horn to deal massive damage to Croagunk. Brock going, Croagunk, Aerial Ace and Brick Break. Do whatever you can to fight against that Close Combat. Both Pokemon giving it everything they've got. Kicks, punches, headbutts, horn attacks, anything and everything. These Pokemon are not giving an inch. Until finally, with one final Aerial Ace, Croagunk hitting Heracross right in its face, knocks it back down, hitting the ground hard, knocking it out. Heracross is unable to battle. The winner is Croagunk. Croagunk barely being able to stand, panting heavily. Brock thanking Croagunk, saying, you did an amazing battle, Croagunk, but we forfeit. Both Croagunk and Ash look surprised. Brock saying, I'm not going to put my Pokemon in any danger. Croagunk can barely stand up as it is. So, I concede this match. It's another double knockout. Ash then saying, okay Brock. So Ash, that's 3 Pokemon from me, 3 Pokemon from you. This is a really close battle. Yeah, Brock, this is a lot of fun. Well, don't get too comfortable. The battle's only just starting. Let's go, Swampert! Brock's Hoenn starter takes the field. Ash looking in surprise. When did you evolve your Swampert? I told you, Ash. I may be studying, but I'm not some pushover. Me and my Pokemon work every single day and we work hard. What you're looking at right now is the result of all of our training. Ash smiling saying, alright then Brock, you want to bring muscle versus muscle? Here we go. Let's go Tauros! Ash's bull Pokemon takes the field, stomping around showing off its true strength. Brock going, wow, your Tauros is looking pretty good. Which one is that? Oh, it's the same Tauros I've been using the whole time. It's the leader of his entire herd. I thought he looked familiar. Alright then, shall we begin? You bet. I'll let you have the first move this time, Ash. You're gonna regret that, Brock. Now, Tauros, use Takedown. Tauros charging forward straight for Swampert, not slowing down for anything, not even the boulders in its way, actually breaking a few on his way over to take down the water starter. Brock then saying, okay Swampert, now use Mud Shot. Swampert then opening his mouth, shooting out several gunks of mud right toward Tauros' eye, nearly blinding it, having Tauros run straight into another boulder, only doing damage to itself. Ash going, Tauros, no! Brock then going, this is what happens when you charge straight in, Ash. Try and think more. Now, Swampert, Hydro Pump. Swampert launching a torrent of water straight for Tauros, hitting right on target, knocking it back. Ash asking Tauros, are you okay? Tauros is down, but he's not out. Getting up, Tauros shakes off the water and actually uses it to clear up his eyes, giving it back its sight. Okay, Tauros, we're gonna have to go big on this one. Now, Giga Impact! Tauros running back at Swampert at even greater speeds this time and with even more power. Brock doesn't even have time to react as Tauros hits Swampert direct on target, doing massive damage right on Swampert. Ash asking, Swampert, are you okay? The water started getting up, nodding his head, assuring his trainer he's alright. Okay then, alright Ash, you leave me no choice. Now, Swampert, Hyper Beam! Ash wondered to himself, since when could Swampert learn Hyper Beam? Side note, in case you guys are wondering where I'm taking these moves out of, I actually have been doing my research on a lot of these Pokemon, and they can learn all these moves either naturally or with TMs. Hence Gible's Dig, or his Draco Meteor, or even stuff such as Swampert's Heart Beam. Trust me guys, they can learn them, okay? I'm not gonna pull anything out of the air just for the sake of entertainment, okay? Now back to the story. Swampert charges up and fires a Hyper Beam straight for Tauros. Ash saying, "Tauros, quick, use Flamethrower, cancel it out." Tauros, launching out a flamethrower straight from its mouth, hits the Hyper Beam, weakening it, slowing it down but not weakening it. It still hits its mark but doesn't do as much damage. Tauros can barely stand up now with what damage it's taken. Tauros, are you okay? Tauros is still ready to go. Okay Tauros, Swampert needs some time to recharge, so we need to hit it with everything we've got. Now, Bulldoze! Ash's Bull charges straight at Swampert with everything it's got, slamming directly into Swampert, doing massive damage. Swampert itself can barely stand up. Even right now, Tauros is barely shaking. That's when Ash calls for one final attack. Now, Tauros, take down. Tauros, digging in deep, lunges right for Swampert, hitting it one final time, knocking it down and knocking it out. Swampert is unable to battle. The winner of this round is Tauros. Tauros, stomping and cheering out a roar in victory. Ash cheering on Tauros, telling it did amazing. Brock thanking Swampert as he returns it. I appreciate you the hard work, old friend. Now get some rest. Alright then, Ash, you're doing pretty good. I'm down to 2 while you still have 3 to go. Thanks, Brock, but if I learned anything from you, it's never underestimate your opponent, no matter what the advantage you have on them. Quite right. Time to say hi to one of my eldest friends. Let's go Golem! One of Brock's oldest friends, Golem, takes the field, stomping down, rattling the entirety of the gym. Ash and Tauros are both blown back by it, marveling at how strong and powerful this Pokemon is. Ash asking, Brock, is this the same Geodude from all that time ago? Yep, Ash, that's the same one. Remember back in Hoenn when I told you I left my Pokemon here to practice? Yeah? My Steelix wasn't the only one to benefit from that. Even my Golem here had evolved twice between Hoenn and Sinnoh, and now it's one of my strongest Pokemon. Wow, Brock, that's amazing. Yeah, I know. When my siblings are old enough, they'll be amazing trainers. Brock's younger brother Forrest then turns to his big brother and just smiles. Brock returning the smile. He's a good big brother. Forrest then turns to the battlefield and shouts, "Battle begin!" Ash then going, "Alright Tauros, don't give him a second. Bulldoze, let's go!" Tauros charges over at Golem with everything it's got, hoping to do some damage. It hits, knocking Golem back, doing minimal damage. Nice try, Ash, but Golem's defenses are near perfect. Plus, your Tauros is weakened after that last battle with Swampert. Ash getting frustrated, saying, he's right. Alright then. Tauros, take down. Tauros, with the last bit of his strength, charges right for Golem. But Brock saw this coming. Now, Golem, roll out! Golem, bringing its forelimbs and its head into a giant ball shape, rolls straight for Tauros, the two forces charging at each other, meeting in the middle, producing a large dust cloud. When the dust clears, Golem is just standing there as if nothing had happened. Tauros, however, is knocked out. Tauros is unable to battle. The winner of the match is Golem. Okay, Brock, now it's back down to 2v2. I'm ready, Ash, for whatever you have for me. Okay then. Let's go Snorlax! One of Ash's strongest and oldest friends takes the field, doing just as Golem did earlier, stomping on the battlefield, rattling the entirety of the gym, even shaking Ash a bit, going, "Whoa, Snorlax, you've gotten a lot stronger." Snorlax is pumped and ready for a fight. Battle begin. Golem, digging into the ground, picks up a boulder, hurling it right at Snorlax. Snorlax, not paying attention, sees the rock and gets hit directly, making Snorlax a little bit less than pleased, getting it actually kind of mad. Ash then goes, "Alright Snorlax, you ready to retaliate?" Snorlax turns back at Ash saying, "Let's go." Alright then. Snorlax, now, Ice Punch! Snorlax jumping in, hits Golem right in his face with a punch of frigid cold energy. Golem felt that one, being knocked back several feet. Brock going, now Golem, roll out one more time. Golem, turning into a ball, rolls around the entirety of the battlefield, zigzagging in unpredictable patterns, trying to confuse Snorlax. Ash thinking to himself, so that's what it is. They're trying to confuse Snorlax. Okay then, let's try this. Snorlax, use Blizzard. Freeze the entirety of the battlefield. Snorlax then jumps onto a rock and launches out a Blizzard, hitting the entire battlefield, covering it in a sheet of ice. Golem, slipping on the ice, loses control, hitting a boulder, knocking it out of its move. Brock, stunned by this, goes, "Alright then. Golem, get rid of that sheet of ice. Stone Edge!" Golem, stomping on the ground with everything it's got, launches pillar after pillar of rock, making its way straight for Snorlax, hitting his target directly, doing massive damage, knocking it over. Ash then calling out, "Now, Snorlax, use rest." Snorlax falls back asleep, regaining all of its energy. Brock going, "Ash, I think that was your biggest mistake." "What do you mean?" Now, Golem, use strength one more time. Golem picking up a giant stone, hurls it back at Snorlax, doing massive damage. Now, Stone Edge. Attack after attack. Golem just hits Snorlax relentlessly, not giving it an inch, hoping to knock it out before it can wake up. That's when Ash screams at Snorlax, "Snorlax, wake up and use Hyper Beam!" Snorlax barely wakes up, but it doesn't have enough time to do a Hyper Beam, as Brock calls for one more strength, throwing a rock right at it, hitting it right in its face, knocking it back, completely dazing it. Now, Golem, use Rollout one more time. Golem, charging straight for Snorlax, rolling at it at full speed. Ash then tells Snorlax to grab onto Golem, stopping it right in its tracks. Snorlax grabbing onto Golem, holding it still, not having it move. That's when Brock screams to Ash, "Nice, you fell right into our trap." What? Now, Golem, use strength and hang on to Snorlax. Golem undoes itself from its rollout, holding onto both of Snorlax's arms, keeping it right where it's at. Now, Golem, use Hyper Beam. Ash then tells Snorlax, "Snorlax, you use Hyper Beam as well. Cancel it out." The two Pokemon charge up their Hyper Beam and at point blank range, fire the deadly beam right at each other. A giant explosion occurs, leaving almost a crater right where both Pokemon stood and a massive dust cloud covering not only the battlefield but the entirety of the gym. Both combatants just sit there in silence, hoping that their Pokemon are okay, hoping that the other one went down and that this battle is finally over. But when the dust cloud settles, they see it. Both Snorlax and Golem are just laying there, completely knocked out. Snorlax and Golem are both knocked out at the exact same time. It's a draw. Both trainers recalling their Pokemon, thanking them both for a hard-fought battle. They both stare each other down, realizing that this is the final battle. Ash will either move on and continue to compete in the Indigo League, or his gym challenge will stop right here and now. The two trainers stare at each other in complete silence, until finally Brock calls out, "Well, Ash, it really is like the first time. You and me, down to our last Pokemon. And they're our partners." Ash then smiling himself, telling Brock, "Yeah, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Pikachu, go. Let's go Steelix." The giant iron snake Pokemon and the small little electric mouse stare each other down, actually smiling at each other. Seems that the two of them wanted a rematch after all. Now, battle begin. Ash and Brock at the same time call for an Iron Tail. Pikachu running straight for Steelix, Steelix charging straight for Pikachu. Both swinging their Iron Tails, colliding with each other, knocking each other back, canceling out the attack. Ash then calls out, "Pikachu, use Electro Web. Try and hold Steelix down." Pikachu then launching multiple Electro Webs, trying its best to hold down the Steelix, only slowing it down just barely enough. Brock then calling for Steelix to use a Rock Tomb. Rocks come up from the ground, holding down Pikachu. It seems the two of them both had the exact same idea. However, Brock prepared for Pikachu. Now, Steelix, use Dig. Digging into the ground, Steelix disappears, leaving Pikachu still trapped by the Rock Tomb. Ash calling out to Pikachu to try and break out, but it's too late. Now, Steelix, come up. Steelix coming up from below, hits Pikachu with everything it's got, doing some massive damage. Ash, worried about his partner, asks if Pikachu's okay. Pikachu just shakes off the attack and is ready to keep going. That's when Ash smiles, saying, "Alright, then we gotta think, how are we gonna deal with Brock?" Brock calling out another Rock Tomb to hold down Pikachu for another massive attack. Ash tells Pikachu to use a Thunderbolt, knock back the Rock Tomb. Pikachu, with all of its energy, knocks back each one of the rocks with its electric attack, canceling it out. Now, use Quick Attack, getting close. Pikachu, at full speed, runs right for Steelix, heading right for its head. That's when Brock calls for Double Edge. Steelix lunging at Pikachu, hitting it directly, both attacks doing damage to the other. Before Pikachu can hit the ground, Ash tells Pikachu, use Electro Web to bounce back. Pikachu launching an Electro Web at a cluster of rocks from the earlier battle, uses it as a springboard, launching back at Steelix. Now, use Quick Attack, gain some speed. Using Quick Attack, it gains even further speed than what it did before, almost looking like a little yellow bullet. Ash then calls out, "Now, use your strongest Iron Tail, you can!" Pikachu swinging down its tail, hits Steelix right on the mark, knocking it down, doing some massive damage. Brock then asking Steelix if it's okay. It barely stands up. Both it and Pikachu are highly exhausted and highly damaged. Well, Ash, it looks like this next blow will be the final one. Yeah, Brock, it looks like it. Okay then, let's make this a good one. Steelix, use Dig. Steelix digs into the ground, disappearing from sight. Ash then calls it to Pikachu. Now, Pikachu, hold still. Listen for Steelix. See where it comes up. Pikachu stopping in his tracks, going down to all fours. Listening, feeling for it. Just then, some of the rocks to Pikachu's left move. Ash saying, "There, now!" Pikachu jumping out of the way as Steelix pulls up. Ash then saying, "Now, Iron Tail!" Pikachu lunging forward, uses Iron Tail, it hits Steelix right on its underbelly, knocking it over. Onyx asking Steelix, "Steelix, are you okay?" Steelix, on its very last legs, looks over at Brock, saying, "Do it." Brock then smiles, saying, "Alright, Steelix, if that's what you want to do, then let's do it." Side note, I'm having Brock do this only because he said to Ash he wanted to push him to his absolute limit. There's no other way to do it than with this next move. Plus, I just think it was really cool when they gave it to Brock. Now, Steelix, may our bond produce a new kind of power. Mega Evolve! Steelix then glows with the same energy, reacting to Brock's Keystone, the two of them being in absolute perfect sync. Brock's partner Pokemon has Mega Evolved into Mega Steelix. Things have just gotten a lot more harder for Ash. Ash then realizing, oh no, I don't have any of my stuff. I don't have a Z-Ring. I don't have my Z-Crystals. Ash is at an absolute disadvantage. However, he does remember, wait a minute. Steelix is on his very last legs. We just need to hit him once with a really good attack. But what? Looking around the battlefield, Ash sees crater, destroyed rocks, some pillars left over from Stone Age, all surrounding both Pikachu and Steelix. That's when Ash gets his unpredictable battle styling idea. That's it! Pikachu, use Electro Web. Use it all over the battlefield. Surround the entire building, the ceiling, everything. That's when Pikachu uses Electro Web on everywhere and everything, surrounding the entirety of the battlefield. Brock wondering to himself, what could Ash be thinking? It doesn't matter, I have to stop him before he can succeed. Now, Steelix, use Iron Tail. Steelix, trying to stop Pikachu with a Mega Evolution powered Iron Tail, lunges at Pikachu. Pikachu just dodging out of the way, keep hitting Electro Webs everywhere. Steps back and sees the entirety of the battlefield is covered with Electro Webs. On every single angle, crater, rock formation, even on the ceiling. The entire battlefield is basically one gigantic web. Ash then says, now Pikachu, use Quick Attack on all the Electro Webs. Bounce on them as much as you can. Gain as much speed as possible. Pikachu, then understanding what his trainer is trying to say, lunges at the nearest Electro Web, launching from left to right, up, down, forward, backwards, as quickly as it can. It looks like Pikachu's going supersonic at this point, barely becoming a little yellow blur that Brock can't even keep up with. Brock saying to Steelix, Steelix, be ready, no matter what happens. Steelix is just standing there confused. But then when Pikachu hits the ceiling and goes straight down, that's when Ash calls out, now, use your most powerful Iron Tail. Pikachu, launching straight down with every single thing it's got, hits Steelix right on its head with the most powerful Iron Tail Pikachu can produce, knocking Steelix straight down into the battlefield ground. When the dust clears, they see Pikachu standing on Steelix's head while Steelix is just knocked out. Steelix is unable to battle. Pikachu wins, meaning the match goes to challenger, champion Ash Ketchum. Ash just stands there in disbelief. He can't even believe it. They won against Brock. Ash, cheering, runs over to Pikachu, giving his partner the biggest hug. Brock running over to Steelix, checking to see if he's okay, recalling it and thanking it for the battle. That's when Brock walks over to Ash, saying, Ash, that was an amazing battle. That unpredictable battle style, it came in clutch again. Ash saying, thanks Brock, I appreciate that. But to be honest, you motivated me after the speech you gave me last night. Did I now? It's like you said, this is the big leagues now. I have to put in the extra work. I have to put in a lot more time. That's why I made a decision. Oh, and what's that? I've decided that from now on, I'm going to be doing nothing but rotating all my Pokemon. Getting to know each and every single one of them like I did when I first caught them all. Doing what I can to bring out each of their strengths, each of their potentials. This actually surprises Brock for the better, making him insanely happy saying, Ash, that is spoken like a true champion. The two trainers shake hands. Forrest walking over asking his brother, Brock, what do we do now? Ash has already won your gym badge, so do we just give him the badge again? You know what? I have an idea. Ash, do you have your badge case? Actually, I do. My mom packed it for me for some reason. Why? Let me see that. Ash hands over the badge case, where Brock takes a look at it, taking out all the badges, but leaving in his badge, the boulder badge. Saying, here you go, Ash. Ash again looking confused, saying, wait, why'd you take all my other badges? Brock then smiles, saying, here's what we'll do from now on. You're going to re-challenge each gym, but I doubt they're going to give you a brand new badge. So I'm going to hold on to each one of these, and every time you re-challenge and re-beat a new gym, I'll give you back the badge you earned the first time. Like what you told me Professor Oak said, you have to re-earn your position. So you're going to have to re-earn each of these badges. Does that sound fair enough? Ashton smiles and goes, okay, so it really is like I'm reliving my past. Yeah, that's right. Ash, then looking at his badge, just tells Pikachu, alright Pikachu, we just re-won the Boulder badge. Pikachu, throwing at the peace sign, cheers alongside his trainer. We move on to later that evening. Ash and Brock are both at the Pokemon Center, leaving their Pokemon with Nurse Joy. After finding a table and sitting down to get something to eat, Brock then tells Ash, so what's your next step from here? Ash then looks at Brock confused, saying, what do you mean? Isn't it obvious? We're going to Cerulean City. That's right, I forgot. Misty's sisters are already back from their vacation. However, it's not going to be easy convincing the sisters to take back the gym. What do you mean? I've been keeping in contact with Misty ever since Sinnoh, so you'll see when we get there. Leaving Ash and Pikachu pretty confused on what their old friend meant, but they don't dwell on it. Brock actually tells Ash, "Hey Ash, during the battle, did you even notice your egg?" Ash then goes, "No, I actually didn't." "What do you mean?" "Well, I noticed it. It was actually during the battle against Pikachu and Steelix specifically. The egg actually started to glow a little bit and actually started to really rattle, but because you were so focused on the battle, you really didn't notice." Ash then looks at the egg that he placed on the table earlier and goes, "You're right, it does look a little different." The egg actually starts wiggling just a little bit slightly more. Ash asking Brock, "So when do you think it'll hatch?" Brock going, "I don't know. From what I've examined from it, the egg looks pretty healthy, not really anything wrong with it, but I think it's more up to the Pokemon than it is anything else." "The Pokemon?" "Yeah. It may sound weird, but I think whoever's in this egg wants you to prove yourself to it." "How do I do that?" "I don't know. I guess you just gotta keep going on your adventure and just keep challenging stronger and stronger trainers." "Well, okay then. Whoever you are inside this egg, I hope that I can prove myself worthy of you." We now move on to the next day at the PCA gym, where Brock leaves his younger brother Forrest in charge again, leaving him all of his Pokemon except for his Steelix, who he wants to stick with him. Forrest promises he'll look after the gym as best he can, before giving his big brother a hug and wishing him luck. The rest of his family doing the same thing. His dad, his mom, who is surprisingly alive, if you know, you know, and all of his younger siblings. Ash and Brock make their leave when Ash says, "Okay, Brock, so you ready for another adventure?" Brock then looks over to his friend and says, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to get back on the road and do what we used to do, for old time's sake." "Then let's go!" And that's where we're going to leave it for now, guys. So, what'd you think? Ash got through his battle with Brock. It was a full 6-on-6 battle. Hey, and now they're on their way to Cerulean City to meet up with Misty again. But what trouble lies with her and her older sisters? I guess we'll see. So if you guys don't mind liking and subscribing, it really shows me how much you guys care about this series and motivates me to make more episodes. Also, I know I told you guys I wanted to tell you something at the end of the video, so here it is. At the time of recording this video, Ash Ketchum had left the anime and is no longer going to be the main protagonist of Pokemon. So, while not being the first, let me just say, Ash Ketchum, my hero, my idol, my friend, thank you so much for everything you've done, for teaching me life lessons, for always being there for me, and not just for me, but for everyone in the entire Pokemon community. We all will miss you, and Pikachu. And let me just say one last thing to my hero, Ash Ketchum. Until next time, may your soul be ever bright. Not just myself, but everyone loves you. Bye.